This week, the president of Poland came to America to continue his quest to make his country besties with our country. The pact with America is going to involve the U.S. Pulling 1,000 troops from the 50,000 or so that we have in Germany and now basing them in Poland, right? As well as giving them drones and military hardware. The Poles, actually, they wanted more. They're willing to give us $2 billion if we put a base there. They want a U.S. military base installation near Warsaw. So far, the U.S. is saying, nah, we're not going to give you that request. Joining us now is former naval intel officer John Jordan to talk about this. John, hey, sounds great. The Poles hate the Russians. They love us, right? They love Americans. Good for us, right? We ought to do everything they want.
Absolutely not. It's good for the Poles, even if they build the $2 billion base. It's a loser for the American taxpayer for two reasons. First of all, there's the ongoing costs of having to duplicate everything that we have in Germany just to be able to station a couple thousand troops a few hundred miles to the east. And secondly, it doesn't do anything for American national security, and in fact, just heightens tensions with Russia to no purpose. I mean, I realize that countries have to confront each other from time to time, and we're no exception. But there's no gain in it. There's no win in it. And you know what? You can build the base if you want, but there's always ongoing costs associated with that. But so why?
Well,
I mean, why do this?
Let me tell you something. You know, the Russians deserve to be hated by the Poles. The history is undeniable here, right? For more than 250 years, the Poles have been under direct Russian rule or threat of Russian attack. So when they say, do everything you can to make us, separate us from those guys, they have a good argument.
Yeah, but the Poles have an equally large argument with the Germans. Let's not forget September 1, 1939, the very first day of World War II, when the Germans crossed the Polish frontier. The Poles, it's nothing worse than having a flat country between two titanic powers at each other's throats, and that's what Poland is. But the Poles have historic reasons to be fearful and upset with Germany, too. Remember, Auschwitz with Treblinka were on Polish soil.
Well, when you talk to a Pole about Russia and Germany, they'll tell you they hate them equally, right? So I think it's like they're surrounded by countries they distrust. Most of this historical, right? Most of this is not what's actually going on right now. So they just say, America, come on in. You haven't done anything bad to us, so we'll take you. Isn't that what they're really doing?
Well, I understand this from the Polish point of view. You're 100% right there, Rick. Yes, from the Polish point of view, it makes abundant sense. But if you look at it from the point of view of the American taxpayer, American security isn't enhanced by it, and it will result in ongoing expenditures, despite what the Poles say about this. Yeah. And it just heightens tensions between the United States and Russia. Keep in mind, Germany, England, everybody else in NATO is obligated by Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty to come to Poland's defense anyway. But why stir the pot here and spend money doing it?
And no matter what you say about how much the Poles may be right to hate the Russians historically, right now, living in today's world, there's not a real threat that the Russians are going to go in there and do anything in Poland anytime soon. So at least living in the present, there's no real threat. You agree? We both agree on that?
Absolutely. Keep in mind, 1,000 or 2,000 troops is nothing more than symbolism, expense, and an opportunity to heighten diplomatic tensions and reduce the ability and make it harder for the U.S. and Russia to work together. But does it really enhance U.S. security? No. Does it enhance Polish security? Not really.
John Jordan.
A chance for the Poles to poke the Russians.
Sorry, my friend. John Jordan, I'm getting a rap from my producer, but, you know, again, you and I could talk forever about this. You're a great guest. We'll see you again very soon. I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.